Hi guys, this is Caleb with Lucky Farms Produce. We are a small second year produce farm here in western Arkansas, and today I'm going to be setting up this little 6x8 hobby style greenhouse to be used as a seed starting greenhouse. We're up here at the top of our driveway. It goes all the way down. Right there is our big 72x30 hoop house that we've been working on the last couple weeks. So I'm going to put this little one up here at the top of the driveway where we can use power from the house to heat it. And this is where Ashley's going to be starting a lot of her seeds here in the next couple months before they go down there and before we prep them for our plant sale we're trying to do this year. So I'm going to be bringing the wood base that was here over and setting this up. This greenhouse was here when we came and looked at the house, and then when we ended up closing on the house, they'd already removed it. And then the previous property owners actually ended up giving us this one back. So we didn't pay anything for it, and we're super thankful to him for letting us have it, and kind of giving us some of the resources and advice that he gave us. So I'm going to be working today on getting this little guy set up. Hey guys, so today I'm going to try and get a bunch of these panels put up and see if I can get this greenhouse wrapped up. I'm not sure if I have all the hardware or tools to get it, but we're going to see how far I can get, and at least then we'll know what I need. This little greenhouse was given to us from the previous property owners. They actually took it, and then when we bought this, we kind of become acquaintances with them, and he gave it back to us, and because he wasn't using it, he wanted to see us put it to use. So we got it here on the very top of the hill, so you can see I'm way higher than my truck, and then right there you can see that's the big high tunnel. So house is right here, and then this is right here right at the top of the driveway. It's nice and close that if I need to run a heater here in the future, I have a power outlet right here off the house, and it's flat ground's a commodity here, so this is where we're going to put this for right now. One thing we did that I got video of, but I don't know if I ever talked about it, is I bought some railroad ties and put railroad ties as my base. We're here in Arkansas. We got tornadoes, high winds, you know, storms, crazy weather. So I didn't want it blowing off. It's real light. This is like a Harbor Freight style, real cheap kind of hobbyist greenhouse, but it's gonna work good to start seeds and stuff in. But I didn't want it to blow away. The other thing, it's a little short, so instead of going with like a traditional 4x4, I could go with railroad ties, and it elevated it, you know, that extra, I don't know, probably 4 inches at least. So the nice thing is it gives us a little more headroom, it makes it a little more comfortable to work in, and they're a whole lot heavier, so it's not gonna blow away and it's never gonna rot away. So I'm gonna try and get some of these panels put up. The panels are a little dirty and a little cloudy. I'm hoping we can put them up and wash them and that they'll be okay. If not, I'm gonna take some of the old plastic from the other ones or some of the offcuts, and maybe we can wrap it with the just traditional greenhouse plastic. I don't know how well that'll work, but we're gonna figure something out. So I'll throw y'all on a time lapse and we'll start popping panels in hopefully. Alright, just like anything farming, agriculture, homesteading related, we gotta call an audible. So, the panels. The worst ones are some of the roof ones. See all those holes? That's where, I'm assuming it's like hail damage and stuff, and they're kind of the worst stained. I mean, they're pretty rough looking. The side panels aren't too terrible. I really think this, I haven't washed them or anything. I really think with just wiping them down and everything, I think we can make those okay. So, but the roof panels, they suck. And I'm missing one. So, even if they were all in great shape, I still have an issue. So, what I think I'm going to do is, I think we're going to figure out a way to put plastic on. We bought a 40-foot by 150-foot roll of plastic for our big greenhouse, which is more than we need. And I have lots of offcuts. I have a bunch of the plastic that came off the greenhouse. It's, you know, used but still big enough area. You know, this is a small greenhouse, so yeah. So I think I'm going to have to figure out a way to wrap the roof of that greenhouse with plastic from the old greenhouse. So I'm not quite sure exactly how it's gonna look. I may end up, I guess, building a wood frame, you know, framing it in wood and then sandwiching plastic in that and then attaching the wood frame. I don't know, but good news is side walls should look great then, and then we'll get good light in from the top, and I just got to figure that out. But when it's free, you can't really complain. That's the nice thing, is we have all these offcuts, we've saved them, you know, we'll be able to put them to use. So it's not gonna hurt us all. It's just gonna change the process of it a little bit and add a little bit of work, but it's okay. It's free, we're saving money, so we just got to figure out the best solution. So probably not going to get done today, but we're going to work on it. So hopefully here in this week or so I can get her greenhouse, because it's time to get seeds going. Like I said, we got this greenhouse frame for free, and we're missing some of the top panels, and I think we're only missing one, but they're all pretty beat up and they don't look that great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build 4 of these frames right here. These are cedar 2x4s that I happen to have, that we're gonna rip down and build frames for the roof section. And then these are offcuts from the plastic we're putting on the big greenhouse right now. So these boards, if you don't know, if you ever go to Home Depot, there's a section where they sell these boards with purple spray paint on them, and it means there's some sort of defect with them. They're bent, they're broken, something. But they sell the lumber at 70% off. And so it makes it to where you can buy it really, really cheap. And so I happened to buy a bunch of these, not knowing what I was going to use them for, and now I found a use for a handful of them. So we're going to end up doing the roof this way. If this ends up working next year, we may replace all the plastic panels because they're still yellow and kind of dirty looking. So we're going to try to get the roof done and then move on to the more important spring projects, and then maybe circle back this fall or this winter and maybe end up building some side panels this way. So we've almost got this first one done, and we got 3 more to go, and then we'll knock it out and go back to our house and get them put on. Alright, so here's a little update. It's been pouring rain today. Nasty weather. And it's just kind of stopped. We're getting blue skies right after we just worked through the rain to try and get this thing pretty much put together. So, and now that we're all soaking wet, Ashley's got the hose out in there. We're scrubbing these green panels because they were, or the green off of these panels because they were in storage, so they got like, I don't know, algae and dirt and stuff on them. So, Rex, come here. So, we're out here working in the rain to try and get this thing done. So, all of these panels are done on this side. Back's all put together. These are the panels that we just made in the shop. They worked out. I think they work great. I need to trim this one, just one little spot on it where it's kind of rubbing on the metal frame, so it'll sit a little better if I trim it. I think they look good. Like I said, eventually we may end up taking these and do the same thing on the sides, you know, if we decide we don't like the polycarbonate. I didn't have a big enough piece of plastic at the shop to do this side of the roof, so that side's not done. And I still got to put the panels on this side, but 3 sides and half the roof are done, so we should be pretty close, just besides putting the shelving in, where she's pretty close to be able to start holding seeds. So yeah, well, now that it's done raining, I'll show you guys me putting in the other panels or something. You know, we'll show you guys wrapping it up. Okay, now that we pretty much have all the panels and everything up, I need to figure out shelving. The guy who gave us the greenhouse gave us all this big metal, like kind of contractor grade metal shelving that you put in like a closet or something. So there's a bunch of that, and then I've got a bunch of 2x8 or so cutoffs from Ashley's, or we got a pile of them. Just somebody was gonna throw a bunch out, and so we got a bunch of short offcuts from there. So I grabbed them all, and I think what I'm gonna do is set those 2x in between the shelving. I just need a board to run up to where I can screw it all together so they don't fall over. So one thing, if you have a small farm or something like that, get a junk pile. And it's like, this is all this wood came from a deck. So there's a bunch of big 2x material here. There's a bunch of these deck boards. Now a bunch of these deck boards are pretty rotted out and probably just ended up getting burned, but all this stuff was free. We just had to go pick it up, and I've already used this stuff on a bunch of different projects. And so the most important thing, tip, advice I can ever give is have stuff here, because like right now, if I had to go to the lumber yard and buy some 2x4s and stuff, this project's gonna get pushed back and it's gonna fall down on the priority list. But if I can come and find a piece of wood that'll work and just keep me rolling, then I'm gonna get more done, and it's not costing me. The greenhouse is free, the shelving is gonna be free, the plastic that we're fixing the roof with isn't extra, so that was free. The lumber I bought forever ago on sale, so that was super cheap. Really the only thing I bought new for this entire greenhouse project is the railroad ties it's sitting on, because I didn't have any railroad ties. So for the cost of a handful of railroad ties, we have this really nice greenhouse that's going to last us for years and be a good spot to get all the seeds started. So I think I may have found a piece of wood, so I'm gonna work on that while Ashley kind of finishes scrubbing, getting all that nasty stuff off there, and we're sitting in good shape right now. Okay, so here's kind of what we came up with real fast for these shelves. So I have these long runners that I got off a pallet. That's my long boards. Like I said, we got a bunch of these free pressure treated like 2x8s that are like 12 inches long or so. And then we have this metal racking that came with the greenhouse. And so we're going to be able to get at least 12 or 15 trays in here, and then we have some room on the sides we can put some stuff. And that's just the first set of shelves that we're going to do. So we got it pretty close. I mean, all we have left is this roof section, and I got to cut a little triangle for there. And now we need to get some rock and put in here because it's really muddy, and I need to do some irrigation work and move the make it to where water doesn't roll through here. But we're drowned rats, but we've about got it done. So you ready to fill this thing full of tomatoes? Yep. All right, we've got this all put together, so you can see we have our last of our ceiling panels in, and we've got it full of trays. So we've got some plants that Ashley bought in here so that we can get them grown until we're ready. And then let's see here, we got a little bit of peppers started, a little more peppers. These tomatoes are doing good. This is a bunch of Swiss chard, marigolds, some dahlias, some zinnias. We got some more trays of watermelons and cucumbers and okra, so lots of stuff getting ready to go. It's amazing how much better the stuff is growing in our little greenhouse than it did in our house. You know, we tried putting the shelves and you know, everything and growing stuff in there. It always end up real stringy and never really working well. This thing is already done great. So anyway, that's us putting together our little seeding house. So can't wait to get it full use. We got the big hoop house down there we're about to start filling with stuff, and we pretty much all we have left to do is wrap roof plastic on it. We just got both end walls done, so I guess we'll just call that a day, and I'll share nice little finishing pictures with the views for you guys. And like, comment, subscribe, hit the little notification bell. You know, we're going to keep trying to bring you guys videos and keep trying to share the process of us growing all this food with you guys and how we make things work here on our little farm. So, Y'all have a great one, and we'll see you next time.